BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy. Welcome to episode 629 of BRB UK. I would like to have a moment of silence. I hope if all goes well, this will be my last podcast from Slough. But my solicitors, slight bunch of morons, little bit worried it might not happen. But we'll find out on whether or not I've just spaffed away a load of money with no way of getting it back in the exciting episode of Dan's Midlife Adventures, returning soon to a podcast near you. Anyway, it's a bit of a break from normal because Tim is sat in the audience for some reason that I can't quite work out. But because it is a momentous day, a momentous occasion, WWE 2K25 has hit the streets. So there's going to be a WWE 2K25 themed episode, which means fresh from a battle royale is Andrew. Say hello, Andrew.
Hello.
And fresh from a royale with cheese, it's Coleman.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah. All right.
Nice
Andrew.
belt.
Thank you. For video, for people watching the video, I have a child's toy belt on that I tend to do when the wrestling games come out. We brought Andrew on. He is a man from a wrestling podcast called Ring the Bell, a podcast I'm very well acquainted with, and don't usually get involved in video game podcasts, but I wanted to bring him on because we have a shared love of the WWE 2K franchise and the wrestling games before that. So, yeah. Hi, Andrew.
I have a question.
Okay.
Go on.
It comes from Spiky Chris. Thank you, Spiky Chris. Has
Yes.
that belt been used in sexy times that you're wearing,
I don't think that's
Coleman?
quite how he phrased it, but no comment.
I mean, he said 100% worn in the bedroom. I mean, you could just sleep with it on, but I was kind of assuming that he was like, Coleman wants to show his mastery of the Intercontinental title in sexy times.
Intercontinence title.
Yeah, Intercontinence title.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Don't strain too much. You go horribly wrong. Horribly wrong.
Anyway.
Yes, and he can. And have you snapped into a Slim Jim wearing that belt as well?
I would, but they don't sell them in this country, so I just kind of squished into a pepperami, I guess.
Yeah, nibble a pepperami instead.
Yeah. Basically the same
Masticate
thing.
on a pepperami.
They don't really
lovely.
snap Slim Jims, as far as I'm aware. They're basically
No,
the same
they
as
look quite
pepperami, aren't they?
flexible. Unless you've like left them out. Maybe it's like snapping the wrapper on them. I can quite work because they look like a flaccid meaty sausage to me, which is very difficult to snap unless you're in extremely cold temperatures. Then you do have a considerable amount of turgidity in your Slim Jim, enabling said snappage of said Slim Jim. So that's
the
right,
marketing
ladies and gentlemen.
there is- yeah.
If you tuned in wanting some hot wrestling talk and hot video game talk, I'm also here. But most of this is going to be Coleman and Andrew because I haven't played WWE 2K25. My wrestling knowledge fizzles out about 1993, and they're both far too excited. So I'm just going to let them get on with it, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, so just to catch you up, many a wrestler have died since 1993. Hulk Hogan's
What?
a racist. And
No!
Ted DiBiase, what was he doing? Wasn't he scamming people?
Don't
For
say
His
me.
whole
it ain't
family
so.
were scamming people, I believe. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
all your heroes are either dead or crooked. So,
But the McMahons are still doing good work, right? Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. They're
I
What's
hear
your
one of them
Netflix?
really likes education at the moment, and she's doing great things with it. Yes.
Hey, let's talk about WWE 2K25, and I'll let you start us off, Andrew, as you're new to the show, and because I am enjoying this, I'm playing this on PlayStation 5. I will get to more in-depth things, but what are your opinions on the game so far? Because you've been playing a week longer than me. So you got the Uber edition.
I have a question. Andrew, I'm sorry.
Didn't even
I
get
have
to
a question.
start.
No,
How
I'm not
much?
starting.
How much extra did you pay for the Mega Uber Slim Jimathon edition or whatever it's called?
The total price of the Uber non-snappable Slim Jim edition was 120 English pounds.
Oh, Jesus!
Yes.
Ouch! That's a lot of money.
Yes. It
Like
is.
2 video games.
Yeah. And a lot of pepperonis.
Yeah, the budget Slim Jim, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
That's the Bloodline edition, is that right?
Yeah, it's got everything from all of the other editions. So the standard one, the Undertaker one, because he needs another edition, obviously, and then the Bloodline stuff as well. So you get like an action figure Roman Reigns character you can play with, and yeah,
Ooh.
some clothes, some Bloodline themed hoodies and T-shirts you also get for that. So
Oh.
really chucking that value for money in there, aren't they? Too.
There was a point where the WWE games they got a bit silly with their special edition packs, and I think the first press event I went to one of these for, they were doing the Phenom edition, and it was a coffin shaped box for the video game. It had an autograph from the Undertaker. It had a piece of the canvas from a WrestleMania, I think.
Sweaty.
Like, it just got a bit silly with the additions, and then I stopped the following year because they tried to do the exact same thing with Hulk Hogan, but they announced this edition just as the scandal happened, and then
Excellent.
they recalled that idea and didn't sell those.
Was that before the Ric Flair Woo edition, or did that come previous to the Phenom one?
I think that came after, but I can't remember if that was like a big super edition or if that was like a mid edition, like the Undertaker one we've got this time.
It might have been the super one. I know it came with a piece of one of his robes.
That
Flair,
probably was a super edition.
Yeah, a Flair Funko doll and an autograph, I think, in a nice big box.
So basically, the formula is miscellaneous bit of fabric tangentially related to wrestling star and an autograph, which that I'm sure they totally remember doing.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. But none of that nonsense this time. This is all about virtual hoodies and early access.
Yeah, so I find the game easy to get into compared to last year's, because last year's you had to almost gear yourself up to start playing it, whereas this year just feels a lot more easy for just anyone to jump into. You don't have to necessarily have played any wrestling game to carry on with this one. There's more modes. The unlockables are, I think, easier to get now, because there was a criticism last year that you had to spend an inordinate amount of money to get any of the characters or cards that you wanted within the faction mini game or side adventure thing. So they've made it a little bit easier this time. There are still many adverts for microtransactions thrown at you, because you got to go into the free roam bit and buy some Air Jordans, because that's a thing now that's happened.
Hey, 1993's back again. Amazing.
Yeah. So they've introduced for the first time in a WWE title the free roam mode that is already in the NBA games. So that's in WWE games now, but I don't know if we need it. I don't know if that is conducive to a wrestling game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is that like the PlayStation Home but with wrestling thing?
Yeah, that's it's called The Island.
Right.
And that's one of the few. So there's a few different modes this year. You've got The Island, which is PlayStation Home NBA thing. You've got My Faction, which is the card game type thing where you collect card games, but you collect cards and you create a team, and then you do different wrestling matches, but then different cards. The idea is to collect all the cards, but some cards will give you unlocks within the game, usually in some form of a playable wrestler that you can only get if you've got that card. So like there's action figure versions of different wrestlers, and they do look really cool. They've been doing that for a few years now. Or they might do so WrestleMania's coming up, and they might go, hey, if you put this code in, you get this special card, and that will give you an unlocked character. That's usually what happens. So yeah, there's that one. There's My Rise, which is like your story mode. There's My Universe, which is a bit redundant at this point, but that's where you make your own show and just keep following like a calendar, and just it's purely the matches and a couple of cutscenes thrown in, less so than the story mode. There's the My Showcase mode, which this time is all focused around the Bloodline. which is the Rocks family, basically, a big family tree of
Pebble.
different wrestlers.
Got little Pebble, got little
Yep.
Gravel, or little Gravel. He's a little scamp, little Gravel. And you've got Big Daddy Rock at the top, haven't you? And then you've got,
But it's going through a series
Pebble
of
Dash.
recreations of matches, trying to change outcomes in some of them, or just completely doing fantasy matches. So you could be doing like The Rock and his original Intercontinental Championship match. You can play as the Head Shrinkers versus the Steiners at WrestleMania, and then try to
That
change
was in
the
93,
outcomes so they actually win.
The Hogan
That was in 93.
Yokozuna 93 match as well. So 93 is
nice.
well represented in 2K this time around.
But they've got a lot of the different wrestlers, like 3-Minute Warners in there. You've got Umaga, Haku, High Chief Mavia, Naomi. They just go anyone who is like in that family by blood or by marriage. They're represented some way, except for Jimmy Superfly Snooker. Can't think why.
I can't think why.
He's missing from the game for some reason. Super murder.
Is he being a naughty boy?
He may have murdered someone.
He may have.
That sounds very naughty, and therefore
It's
that
quite
is the
naughty.
appropriate slap on
As
the
far
wrist.
as the naughtiness scale goes, it's pretty high up.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's fair.
Yeah. And then there's the island, which we were just talking about. You've been playing My Rise mostly, Andrew, because we've swapped on the different modes we were playing. I've gone through all of the showcase, but you were doing My Rise.
Yeah, so I started that, and that kind of, again, found that much easier, and all of a sudden made the game feel a lot more easily accessible. And I very much quickly found that I was several hours deep, and so, oh wait, I'm still playing this game. This is actually really fun. Again, through My Rise, you unlock multiple things by achieving things and winning matches. So, and different there's different outcomes. So it is also like a pick your path. So you are going to require about 4 or 5 playthroughs all in all to unlock everything in My Rise. But
Nice.
there's a few unique stories thrown in that you wouldn't necessarily see on WWE TV. So you wouldn't necessarily see a time machine on TV. You get that here. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. The voice acting is not the best. You can very say, we need you. You're really tired, I know, but can you please record 7 hours of audio for us?
Ever since they put in voice acting into these games, I think like 2006 was the first one, or 2005, something around that period. They've always been really bad, which I find funny because these people, they come out to the ring, they scream and shout into a microphone. They're very well animated. They do this on a weekly basis. But if you put them in a recording booth, they're like, "And I am calling out you, the Undertaker. Come out here now."
Yeah, it's like they've forgotten how to talk. You have people that are well regarded for being the greatest talkers of their generation. You put them in a booth to record video game audio, and they forget how to put words together. Very strange.
It's because I think in the first time when they started putting the voice lines in, I think one of them was Ric Flair, and Ric Flair is a very overly animated person, a lot of slurring, a lot of shouting, and he's very reserved and quiet and just clearly like reading off a page. And it's very weird to me that he's doing that. So it's always been a bit like that. It gets better sometimes. We had one year where John Cena wasn't available, so they just got a sound alike to play in 1 year, which is mad.
So basically, Ric Flair is like kind of just really. Was he just like kind of? I am Ric Flair. I am the styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in this year, is he?
I think his character's in the game, but yeah, he's not in My Rise. I don't think he was. There's been. I'm not too sure what the deal is now with 2K and WWE regarding how close they are with talents that may not be in good books with WWE at the moment.
Right.
So it does feel quite political in the sense of who they featured and who they've got in. So yeah, there's no sign of Ric Flair in My Rise in the times I've played through it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are there? But is that? Can you do alternate universe things where like a match may have gone another way and explore what would have happened? Because I would love there to be. an opportunity to shave Donald Trump's head from WrestleMania 23.
They will
if
never
that
do
match
that.
went the other way.
No,
Well, they won't let me do that. Why not?
They will never do that.
I want to
No.
do it. I want to do
They
it.
won't do it.
I want to
They
do
won't
it.
do it.
It's the only thing stopping me from doing it in real life. I'm just going to say.
Anywho,
I will do it.
Yeah, you can do alternate stuff, but it's purely based in the showcase mode. Otherwise, everything's a little bit wacky. Yeah.
Speaking of showcase, do you know why Haji Peter Maravilla faced George Animal Steel at Raw Day 1 in a steel cage? Because they're quite historically accurate when it comes to the rest of showcase so far. But yet for that, they took two guys from the 70s and 80s, put them in a modern steel cage on a show that first debuted in around 2021.
I think it's because it takes place in WWF, and they don't really have the ability to use that. But also, I'm assuming it's just to kind of go, hey, we don't need to make this arena for this one specific match. Let's just put that in a modern day setting. But it is really funny because they've gone through this period of traditionally you'd play these games and they'll kind of sync the audio up when they're doing the recreations, and it's funny because like there's matches I remember as a kid watching, like Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania, and then you recreate that in one of the games and it's done so slowly with all the kind of gaps in the audio and then trying to sync up the original audio and all this stuff. Now they'll just go, okay, we're just going to kind of streamline it a bit, make it more entertaining, not recreate absolutely everything in it. We'll use the modern day commentators and it'll be a little bit tongue in cheek because they'll see like a wrestler who's going to have they know what's good, like Haku. They've got a very young Haku fighting in one of the matches, and they go, wow, he looks very regal. Like, I see bright things in his future, maybe a crown, like he's going to win King of the Ring in 7 years or so. So there's stuff like that. But yes, I don't know why specifically they've put them in modern, taken the historic matches and put them in modern arenas, but it's still fun. It's silly.
I did get a kick out of seeing WrestleMania 9 arena because historically that show is awful. And for some reason, I did get a bit of a kick out of seeing the WrestleMania 9 Caesar's Palace arena in glorious modern day video game.
Yeah, they've done that a few times now. Always looks really good.
So
right,
I've
let's
got
get
another
into...
question.
Yes, go on then, Dan.
And I'm going to actually segue into talking about the game rather than pithy, can I shave Donald Trump's head?
That would be a nice change.
Yeah, I know. So I'm kind of a bit of a Luddite when it comes to these things, when it comes to the wrestling and the wrestling games. But what has really changed from like the 2024 release? What is, if people are sitting on the sidelines, perching on the ropes, if you will? You see what I did there? What I did there? Do you see it? What's worth their while upgrading from 24 to 25 here?
It's purely the mechanics. There are new modes and things that are thrown in, but none of them are particularly groundbreaking unless you're really into the history of the bloodline, as they call them, the Maravilla family, extended family. And it's more that it's tightened up. There's different wrestlers in there than before. And, you know, the island is their big thing this year, but it is a swing and a miss. It's not really worth buying this game for. There are more microtransactions than ever before because of the island, which I think is the only reason for the island to exist. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get this game. But if you're looking for an upgrade over last year's and a massive change from last year's, I don't think this is going to be the game for you. And also, WWE games go down in price very quickly. Usually,
they do.
Give them about 3 months, and they're about 50 quid, and then down to 40, and then it just keeps on going down, and then randomly goes up before the next game for some reason.
Yeah. You do get
aren't
some
you being
bonuses.
cynical today, Coleman? Look at you being all cynical.
I do this every year. I go, do you know what? There wasn't really that much of an improvement, and the game went down in price so quickly. I'm just not going to get it on release, and then I pre-order it every time.
I used to be the same with FIFA. I eventually caught myself and thought, you know what? FIFA hasn't changed every year, so I'm just going to stop buying it. And I do wonder if I'll get to a point much sooner rather than later where WWE 2K will be like, no, I don't need another Undertaker special edition. I don't need whoever next year's massive cover star is going to be. I don't need a showcase of their career. Exactly. I mean, that's different. But, you know, if Ric Flair comes back into the fold and they think we're going to do another Ric Flair showcase, for example, I don't see what they can change that much about the game to freshen it up, other than it's got a fresh lick of paint. We've done some of the models again. We've given you a few extra things, and hey, we've got Air Jordan sponsorship now. Yay, look at us.
Yeah, the real kind of pullback from purchasing in previous games is I'd do the pre-order, get the season pass because I want all the new wrestlers when they come out, the DLC. And then I've kind of realized, hold on, all these guys you're giving me, I'm now paying for, and they're quite highly priced. All the ones that I'm paying for this year are then included in next year's roster. So I think I'm just going to stop buying them. This year's a little bit difficult to not go for, though, because they're including TNA wrestlers, which is interesting to me because I usually make them.
They've announced a whole raft of DLC for their 5-6 DLC packs over the course of the next 8-9 months. And there are a few sort of current wrestlers that debuted too late to be included in the main game. There's some legends, some TNA guys, some random celebrity slots that haven't been announced of who they are yet. Will likely be
shaving Trump's head.
That might be a mode.
NBA players for some reason.
NBA players
because they've got the 2K models already.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Silicon Coleman's back.
It'll be the celebrities that they've been carting out recently, all over their TV show, especially since the Netflix debut. They'll probably be the DLC. So Travis Scott, Kieran Culkin, I wouldn't be surprised to see him show up as one. Bad Bunny will probably be one. So yeah, it is a bit of a hit and miss with DLC, but I know I'm going to do the same next year. I'm going to go, no, it hasn't changed that much. Here's my card details.
You're going to join me on the standard release and then just ignore it all. Just put it all out your mind and wait for the next year. Then one year we'll stop buying these on release.
I don't need to buy that DLC pack because I don't care about, insert random basketball player here. I'm never going to use them in a wrestling match. So
Dan, let me tell you about the island because this is the big edition and we haven't covered this properly because so Andrew was doing My Rise, the story mode. I was doing the showcase mode, which sort of story mode. And then afterwards I went, right, time to get into the island because neither of us has covered this. And you jump in, and so the difference between My Rise and the
I
island
have a question.
Yes.
The island, Love or DiCaprio version? Just want to know.
Okay, so anyway, the island, the big difference here, you got to create a wrestler and you're leveling that wrestler up. In My Rise, you kind of have free reign to do what you want. You can make your regular, create a wrestler and then import it. With the island, it's completely different. You have to make a new one from scratch and you have very limited things you can use. The reason is because they're going to sell you those bits later.
Oh, no, cheeky scamps. Cheeky scamps.
You have free roam around this island, which has a very limited frame rate. It's quite choppy and ugly looking. It's not great. And there's kind of these fantastical imagined areas. So there's a church that is a cult of the Undertaker. There's an arcade. There's all these different things. I think like Kairi Sane's got a little shop, pirate goods, all these different things that are around there, all WWE themed. And then Air Jordan's store for some reason. And each time you get into you have a match against really bad looking creator characters that are included in the game and are true for some reason, you earn VC. You get enough VC, you can buy things. You can earn a total of 120 VC per match, but that's not enough to buy like an item of clothing. That's not enough for your stat boost. You need thousands of VC. So what they're trying to do is they start you off on a level of 76 and you can level up your character to 100 and you can have real player versus player games in there. So what they're trying to do is go, hey, if you want an edge and you want to boost, how about you buy your VC? So if you want to level up your character, you're going to have to spend around about £50 of real in-game currency to fully level your character up. That's not including clothes and stuff. That's just the power level. And
that is literally them running around in Y-fronts looking well hard, basically, is what you're saying.
It is the literal meaning of pay to win. You are paying to get an advantage so you can beat other people in the game, have higher stats than everyone else. It is the worst thing in this game. But, you know, the 2K, the WWE 2K series of games, they have been doing some pretty shady stuff for a while. They've taken stuff that is in the game, Like they've taken titles that were unlockable 1 year and then cut them out and then sold them back to you in the form of DLC. They've put sponsorships in trophies and achievements. They have a Snickers trophy and achievement you can unlock. Like they've done really bad stuff for quite some time, and I'm guessing they just weren't making enough money out of the My Faction, the card game version of this. They've gone, okay, so we're gonna just make something else that requires even more currency. So I think once I've gone through and done the story mode and everything and played around online, then I might give the island another crack and see if they've improved the frame rate through patching or something. But or if they've changed the rate of the leveling but I'm not holding out hope on it. I think it is the worst thing that is included in this year. So if you were sold on the trailer for the island that they were showing off like a month ago, it's not a reason to buy this game.
I started the island and immediately found myself tasked with finding R-Truth outside an arcade on the pathway up to the massive golden Roman reign statue. There's no map.
Yes.
You don't know where you're going. There's no there's no little shining beacon you have to follow to find him. So I ran through a fiery cave 4 times thinking I'd go on a different way. I hadn't. Kept bumping into other players who are playing on the island and then random NPCs as well. And I thought, no, I had an online match. I had 2 matches. I thought, I'm done. I'm going back to My Rise. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the island would definitely be the island would be definitely one of those last things to do. I've done anything else. I've unlocked all I can unlock. I'm not paying lots and lots of money for VC. My Faction, you have to pay like 9,000 VC to get a pack of like 5 cards. That's a standard price, or MFP points as well. It's so much. But yeah, the island would be a last kind of. I don't want to stop playing this game yet. I've spent a lot of money on it. This is what I'm going to do to try and get some time back on what I've spent out in money.
And proportionally, each extra pound you spend is less compared to the amount you've already outlaid. So not only is it diminishing returns, but diminishing incremental cost for you as well. So there's something, I suppose. But it seems a shame, though, because kind of all that user-generated content, building your own wrestlers, I remember it from like a couple of, probably it was about 8 or 9 years ago, the WWE game at the time. But it just seems such a shame to lock all that away behind microtransactions. It seems like quite a cynical cash grab when actually it could be quite a lot of fun if they just embraced it and made it a bit easier to enjoy that content.
It is only in that mode. You can have regular online matches like we did that one time. You can make your own characters without having a limit on there. There will still be parts that are kind of attached to DLC characters that you can then use if you've unlocked them. But otherwise, it's pretty open and pretty wild. I can still make the same characters that I've been making before. It's just in that one mode that it's all locked away because it's there for clout. And I think it really does let it down. I'd probably rate a 7 out of 10. And the knocking down is just the blatant microtransactions in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot good about the game. There's a lot I enjoy about the game. But when you're bombarded with, hey, spend this money, get this, you are going to fail if you want to try and do it the honest way without spending money. It does knock some enjoyment out of it, unfortunately.
Also, apparently it's very limited on PC. They've taken some features out, which is very odd.
Really?
The PC mode does really well because of people like to do modding as well as the creating.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if they've limited it because last year there was last couple of years, when they go, hey, here's a character that you can only get if you have this specific card. Well, previously they went, you can only get these characters in this mode. So people would then hack the game, get the characters, and then kind of weirdly make it so they're creator characters, and then you can download them and change the music and stuff. But you could then download that stuff onto console. So it was a bit of a security issue in some form last year, and they locked it all down and banned a bunch of accounts and stuff. So I'm wondering if that's why the PC's been limited. But it is a shame because there's quite.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Right, we should probably move on. I will just say this is available out now: PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It will cost you $54.99 to $64.99 for the regular versions.
And I'm assuming that the Insane Madness edition, which you picked up, Andrew, that's been removed from the shelves. Less people have discover they've got more money than sense.
It'll still be there online, and I'm sure you don't get the pre-order bonus, but some people will still want to unlock everything. They'll want all the DLC bought and paid for up front. But yeah, I do think the reviews post-release and people actually playing it and realizing, hey, this isn't needed, I can see a lot more people going with the standard edition going forward.
Fair enough.
It doesn't need 3 price points. It doesn't need a standard, a medium Uber and a super duper Uber version. It doesn't.
Welcome to video games.
Oh yeah, especially when the Undertaker's medium Uber version is pretty much the same as this old version he had. What, 2 years ago? He had a special edition. I mean, come on, guys.
2014.
Thought it was.
How old is the Undertaker now?
I think it's probably had several Ultimate. I'm pretty sure I've had 2 different special Undertaker editions at some point.
Yeah.
Undertaker's about what, be 50s now, surely.
Bloody hell.
Yeah,
I would say
he's retired now,
late
finally.
50s. He is retired. Yeah, he's now doing podcasts, completely out of character as not the Undertaker anymore.
Promoting Blue Lives Matter and whatever he does.
Although he does put the Undertaker gear back on to go to Saudi Arabia to carry a football out to the middle of a pitch because they spend lots and lots of money on it.
But because money.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Because money.
He flew out to Saudi Arabia to dress up as the Undertaker to go onto a football pitch.
Just to blow your mind as well, one little wrestling factoid for you of where are they now, Dan? The Undertaker's kayfabe brother, Kane, is the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee.
God bless him.
Very odd.
Good for him.
He wouldn't shave Trump's head. He would stop you shaving Trump's head.
We shaved his own.
I like him a bit less.
He did shave.
He is a Republican.
Mayor, what a surprise! So. A mayor in Tennessee being a Republican. Say it ain't so.
Well, he is a very outspoken libertarian who went the route of Republican for the political seat. Anyway, that's WWE. Shall we get on to the news?
Let's before I start ranting about things randomly again. Oh, slap me up with some news, Coleman.
Would you get excited if I said the words to you, Hollow Knight Silksong?
I would be quivering with glee if you said that to me.
So would a lot of people because in Xbox Wire, their news
say
post,
it to me, Coleman. Say it to me.
They just casually
say it to me
mentioned.
Again. Say it.
They just casually mentioned Hollow Knight Silksong in a post, and everyone went ballistic. They didn't say a release date. They didn't show a new trailer. They didn't say platforms. They just happened to mention it, and the internet went insane.
Well, I mean, the Hollow Knight games are lovely, and there's a lot of interest around Silksong's project. I think it did get a little bit out of hand, but isn't there people trying to put 2 and 2 together and getting 307 by trying to link this up with a potential showcase of the Switch 2 in April?
Yes, yeah. So if you don't know, this is one of those games that it could be the PlayStation State of Play, it could be the Xbox Developer Direct, it could be the Nintendo Direct, it could be any Summer Games Fest or Game Awards. Everyone thinks this game is going to get shown off in some way.
It's the alternate Half-Life 3 is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's the Half-Life 3 for now. Or the Beyond Good and Evil 2 for my circle for a while. And yeah, everyone seems to think that this is going to be shown off at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct event that's happening on the 2nd of April. So we'll see. But I don't know how you get that from Xbox.
Wishful thinking and internet chat rooms is how you get there, mate.
I guess so.
Yes.
I haven't heard if I'm going to that Xbox, if I'm going to go play the Switch 2 yet. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah, because that was a while ago you signed up for that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got declined on the first one because there was too much interest in the day that I picked.
Because they verified your identity. You're like, no, you're not. No,
it's just too much.
You'll lick it again. We don't like people who lick the merchandise.
It's not first come, first serve. You all get you basically going for a lottery system, and I didn't get it. But they then allowed me to put down for a different date, but I've not had a rejection yet, so we'll see. I can assume it's good.
Fingers crossed.
Probably check my junk.
Yes. And also that in your email as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why they won't let you into the Switch event as well. Well, checking my junk, just in case you'll let me in. I'm checking my junk.
One of those badly kept secrets, and
Silksong.
there's reason for this because there's been precedent before. Bethesda.
Right. Okay.
There have been rumors for a while that they are doing an Oblivion remake. And the reason being is because there are some rumblings that they were doing a Unreal Engine 5 play around, and the way of doing that was to see how easily they could port Oblivion, and then it kind of just bloomed out into full-on remake. The reason that's quite plausible is because that's exactly what they did with Skyrim. If you remember, for the Xbox One, I think it was, they were working on development tools, and they decided to just port Skyrim because they'd already put the work in, playing around with it. There was a leak from some very reputable sources. A former Virtuous employee has said that it could actually shadow launch at some point in April 2025. Now, I ask you, Dan.
Yes.
Would you be interested in playing Oblivion again without the fuzziness?
Almost certainly. And if they slap in a bit of ray tracing, I'll be quite happy with that. Because there's a lot. I think a lot of people are really testing out Unreal Engine 5, which is what I think they're rumored to be going for here. Unreal Engine 5 can do some really, really cool stuff, like really amazingly cool stuff. And I think it would be something with the scope of Oblivion would be a really good test case for it. It'd be nice if they throw in all the new shiny goodness of modern game engines. And I think quite the reason why they might be going for it is that actually under the hood, it's got quite a lot of powerful AI tools to reimagine existing assets, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it could happen. I think it'd be Unreal Engine 5. I remain skeptical whether it's going to be the price of free that some people are hoping for. I think it's going to be some money.
50, I reckon.
You reckon 50? Biddy?
I reckon 50. Fun fact, Oblivion was, I think it was the second game to make me travel sick.
Was it?
Yeah.
I just found the extreme close-ups of people's faces when you were talking to them disconcerting. That's my
I couldn't play it that long. I just tried it because my housemate had it and Patrick Stewart's at the start. And I was like, I love Patrick Stewart. And don't get attached to him.
Yeah.
Did you get sick at that entrance in 2K25 where you can customize the entrance? And you can
sorry. We didn't mention that. There's a third-person camera in 2K25, but it's really shaky when you're using it, and I felt really ill, so I had to turn it off.
Oh no!
It's fun to mess around with, but I can't do it for too long. And that was a similar problem here. You start that game in kind of a dark dungeon, and playing it just on the 360, a little bit blurry, a little bit choppy at times, made me feel very nauseous playing it. Never got out of the dungeon. So I would be willing to try that in a much sharper and faster frame rate version of the game. I'm just hoping that these ports from different Unreal Engine to 5 don't cause like visual issues. If you remember when Unreal Engine 4 came out, they ported the Arkham games, Arkham Asylum and City, and it made them all, like, it took all the shadows out, made everything really light, and the colors washed out. So I like the idea of easily porting stuff that I like and making it look better, but I just hope that, the one-to-one stuff doesn't get too lost in translation because of it.
And you're all right in Skyrim with trundling along in a carriage at the beginning. That didn't make you
not Skyrim VR on the PSVR. Skyrim was fine. I could do that at the time, and I probably couldn't go back to the 360 version. But then as that kept getting ported and improved, and then Tim got the VR version on the old PlayStation VR, and I tried it on that, and it was just like the launch console version, but in VR. And I can't do this. This is making me feel awful. Yeah. Then I blacked out and woke up in a wagon with a Nordic man talking to me.
That's Issa Inchley for you.
Hey, here's some Star Wars news. Everyone likes Star Wars.
Great.
Everyone still loves Star Wars.
Good news.
It's a happy property that has never been diminished in any way, shape, or form.
No No, absolutely not. I will not hear
No.
anything bad said about the wonderful Star Wars. Thank you very much.
Remember that there was a KOTOR remake being made by the guys that are
Yes.
doing all those ports of different old Star Wars games, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, behind the scenes, it got cancelled and then restarted again under Saber Interactive.
Mhm.
All's been quiet since that point. So, in an interview with CEO Tim, is it Willits? He had to confirm that all their projects that are in development are still in development, which include the Knights of the Old Republic remake. But also, he did go through and confirm some of the other games, because John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, always been quiet on that one. The new Turok game, Avatar: The Last Airbender's getting another game, and Jurassic Park Survival, which is one that I'm very excited about. I'm hoping we get some gameplay on that soon.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you as disappointed as I am that rather, because obviously we all know Bionic Commando, right? We all know Bionic Commando. It's a shame it isn't John Carpenter's Bubonic Commando. I just would have liked for him to have called it that, just for the lols. Because Toxic, Bubot, no? Just me. Just me? Just me. Okay, checking. Okay, just checking it's just me. Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Which one of us is a doctor? You'll never guess.
Yeah. Which one likes putting their fingers up places they shouldn't? Fun fact, not me. And I'm the only one with a professional excuse to do so, Coleman.
There he is.
I have to confess something. I'm not
Uh-oh.
actually a doctor. I just really, really like sticking my fingers up people's bottoms.
You heard it
Thanks,
here first.
Bizarro Dan.
For an AI, he's
Anyway.
not that intelligent.
True fact.
And also in the realm of Star Wars, remember Star Wars Hunters? It was coming to
Only
the
vaguely.
PC, mobile, and Switch, I believe
Oh,
it was. Came out 9 months ago.
Oh, is it
Shut-
probably time for it to shut down then, I think?
It is shutting down.
All right, good. Lovely.
Yeah, launched in June last year. It's shutting down 1st of October 2025. The
Wow.
final update will be 15th of April, and then all the in-game purchases will be disabled, because this is I think this is a free-to-play game with all the microtransactions and that, like a regular mobile game, but available on the Switch. Tim was looking forward to this. I wonder if he actually ever gave it a go. You should let us know. in the
Well, he
chat.
probably got distracted by the card game, I think. And that's
Maybe.
all he ever does now.
That's what he's doing now.
I'm fairly
He's doing
certain
right
that's
now.
what he's doing instead of podcasting. Right, exactly.
Bent his Wookiee. Good. And lastly, here's a little rumor that I don't think there's much to, but there is an official Starfield modding website that is supported by BioWare, and I believe the mods that are on there are community creations. A PlayStation logo has appeared on one of the mods, which has sparked everyone to go, they're going to shadow drop the release of Starfield on PlayStation 5, which I imagine they are going to actually bring it to PlayStation 5 at some point. I wouldn't take the mod as official confirmation that's what's happening.
No, I think it's highly likely it's going to happen. I mean, for God's sakes, Forza Horizon you can now get on PlayStation, for example. So, I think
No
Xbox-
cross progression.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But I mean, I think kind of it's going to be. I'm really interested to see what direction Microsoft takes with whatever the next console generation or cycle holds, because I don't think they're going to go all in on the Xbox again. I think it's going to be a lot more about becoming a publishing house, and this to me would just smack at that again.
Well, the thing, I mean, they did clarify last time when they were doing the whole campaign of this is an Xbox, am I an Xbox? Yes, you're an Xbox. They were clarifying that they are still interested in making new hardware. And we didn't cover this last week, but there was the whole thing about the potential of an Xbox handheld, which the kind of, apparently the reason to go for a handheld, they kind of said that the work that has gone into making sure that things can run on the Xbox Series S would qualify them for creating a handheld. But it's apparently, looking further into it, not likely that they're just going to go, here's a portable version of the Series S that you can take out as a handheld. It's more likely a Rogue Ally with an Xbox logo slapped on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just getting like lower powered PC games, just as you could on any PC handheld at the moment anyway, just with an actual integrated Xbox thing. You're an Xbox player, Andrew. You any interest in
I am.
an Xbox handheld?
I saw this last week, and I thought, if I commuted more, it would pique my interest. But I don't know if I would want a handheld Xbox, to be honest. I'm happy with the console being at home. I don't know if I need to have it out with me, or just sat around the house on my handheld Xbox.
What if you could connect it to the Xbox, and then you could be sat on the sofa playing on a handheld while the wife's watching Come Dine With Me or something?
Is this a situation that's happened to you recently, Coleman, that still causes you great distress?
I think it's one we've both spoken about in the past. I'm seeing if
Well,
Andrew's
I have to say
available
the
to
one
this
redeeming for Dave Lamb is a great voiceover man. So at least makes Come Dine With Me somewhat tolerable. I have to say.
You should voice over handhelds.
All of them.
How would that work? What I would like them to do with Come Dine With Me, instead of it being about the 5 people who go around each other's houses, I wish it focused on the collective of their disgruntled spouses who have to put up with this crap for a week. That'd be brilliant. That'd be far better telly.
I think instead of them going to each other's houses, they should go into random people's houses and try to cook a meal.
Just all show up. What are we having for dinner?
Get out of my house. I'm calling the police. Quick, cook, saute.
Oh, look, he's not made his own pastry, the vagabond.
Yeah.
To see how far into other people's houses they can get before the police show up.
This is how you make reality TV more fun. You introduce unexpected elements and kind of add an element of danger. It's like watching Love Island and they bring out a live tiger. Like, that would be very cool. Just a bunch of topless zennials or whatever they are chilling out in their little house, and then out comes a lion or something. And you're like, yay! This is amazing TV.
That would make me want to put down the handheld Xbox and watch that on TV, I think. If I saw a live tiger brought out onto Love Island.
Dancing on ice? No.
Exterminating
Dancing on fire.
thieves.
set various celebrities on fire and make them dance, and the winner gets a fire extinguisher.
Wow, okay, Coleman, I think we should all stop talking now and start wrapping this show up.
I've been thinking about this for a while.
Wow, okay. Started as a joke, not sure it is anymore.
I genuinely think that idea has at some point been discussed in headquarters and boardrooms somewhere in the UK for a TV company.
Or
Sounds
just
like
randomly
we don't have
setting
enough
fire
fire
to
on
set
British
celebrities. Jesus. Wow.
Shall we wrap up?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
Let's do that. So, that has been the show. There's a couple of bits of housekeeping we always do before we get out of here, and the most important of which, as ever, is to remind you to go to tpublic.com/store/BRB. Buy my face. That's right. Things with my face on it. Like, if you've seen the video feed, boom, there's something with my face on it, covering much better shirts that don't have my face on it. Apart from the one right at the back was actually my favourite, which is some cool episode art done a while back by Bleezy. There's all kinds of shirts there, many of them with my face on. You can put these things not just on shirts, but on mugs, on face masks, if that's still your bag, and bags too. All of those things, possibly
Eating my dust.
tpublic.com/stores/BRB.
Yay. And also, this Tuesday is a Tuesday, as is every Tuesday. Sorry, I'm trying to remove the thing at the same time as talking. And this Tuesday will be... how does Tim say it's each and every Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke, Newington is Tabletop Tuesday, where we gather in the cultist church we like to call the Loading Bar and play tabletop games to appease our Lord. Alcohol themed cocktail, video game themed cocktails. This week is Speaking of video game themed board games, it's a video game themed special with Dobble, Super Mario. And a demo of Halo Flashpoint.
Okay.
I'm assuming that the Super Mario will be the featured game. So you want to get down there, play the featured game. If you play it, you get entered into a prize draw. End of the night. If your name gets read out, you take a copy of the game home. Pretty damn good.
And remember, Tim loves being fondled.
Yes. Touch Tim.
Yes. If you go to Tabletop Tuesday,
Tim.
Yeah, give him a tickle. He loves it.
Well, as it's wrestling themes, can you suplex him through the table?
I mean, all that. You've got quite violent this episode, Coleman.
Yeah.
You've got some
If you
issues.
can
You've got
sing-
some issues. You're working
if you
through
can
some stuff at
suplex-
the moment, clearly.
If you can suplex Tim through a table and then
Right.
yell out, now that's what I call a tabletop Tuesday, and then pose for like a celebration and then run away. If you can show me the video evidence that you did that, I will send you
A biscuit.
a houseplant.
Wow.
What if they're wearing a wrestling belt while they do it?
Even better. I will send you another wrestling belt. Probably this one. This child's one that I've got.
And that belt's seen plenty of action.
It has.
Whoa.
Back to the bedroom discussion. Oh, I forgot to put the thing up. Anyway, that is Tabletop Tuesdays. For more information, go to bigredbarrel.com or go to meetup.com/tables-top-Tuesdays or just Google Tabletop Tuesdays, meetup.com.
I believe there's over 2,200 people on that meetup.com
I believe there's 2 billion people on there.
2 billion?
Yeah, and if they all were to turn up at once, Tim will be arrested for inciting a riot. Or he should be.
That's a lot of suplexes and a lot of tables.
Pile drive, suplexing through a table. It's what he deserves for inciting a riot. Hey, speaking of bigredbarrel.com, you should go there.
Yeah.
That's a website where we host this here podcast and many other things. Go to bigredbarrel.com, and there we have links to our social medias, our Discord. We won't read any questions out today because we're a bit pressed for time, but make sure you go there and contact us and talk to us about stuff and things. Go there.
Yes. And also,
Yes.
come say hello. You'll find a link on bigredbarrel.com for this, but I always try and... not everyone's got the time to go checking lots of websites to find out things. So I will encourage you to go to discord.com/invite/mentalhealthware. That's right. Discord.com/invite/mentalhealthware. If you get there by that description of it, good for you. I will present you with a biscuit.
Ooh.
That's right. A biscuit.
Yes. Or a houseplant.
Oh, good. Look, we're an hour in. We've had our first spam chat. Woo!
Yay.
Yeah, someone's wanting to sell us the best viewers, not just any
Andrew,
viewers.
thank you for
best
jumping
viewers.
on the show to help me talk about WWE2K25 to
Thank you, Andrew.
to Dan.
You're welcome.
Please plug Ring the Bell.
Okay, our main output would be on Twitter at @RingTheBellPod. But you can also get all of our social media channels and where you can listen to us at linktree.com/ringthebellpod.
Nice. Available
Awesome.
on all good places you can find podcasts.
Yep. If you find podcasts, you'll find Ring the Bell.
Your latest one's is it the Albert Hall?
Yes, so we had a listener request to cover the Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall from October 1991.
Nice.
Yeah, it was an awful show, but we watched it because we were asked to. So we put out another request for more
And you didn't
ideas.
learn by your mistakes, you
No,
fool.
because this time someone has asked us to watch the Great American Bash 2004, headlined by the Concrete Crypt match between The Undertaker and the Dudley Boys, where if The Undertaker loses, Paul Bearer gets buried in concrete. This is a thing that happened that we will be discussing.
I'm going to think of one. I'm going to think
No,
of
you
one.
are.
I'm going to send it
I
to
can
you.
see the hamster is running around that wheel rapidly already. I can see it. We've also got a massive deep dive coming on Bret Hart at some point as well, where we're going to cover his whole career. My research usually goes about 10-15 pages for most deep dives. I'm currently on to page 30 for Bret, and I've only just reached 1998. There is a lot of Montreal coverage in that, so
Nice.
yes, that'll be coming at some point down the line.
Could you do a special on the AEW episode where they have the exploding ring?
Yes, I can do that. Ross may not watch that show with me, so it makes me flying solo on that one. And then I'll play Fight Forever, because, if I can find the game that doesn't explode in deathmatch, I'm there.
I've got one. Can we have the AEW? It's all AEW for bad shows.
It's all AEW.
Can we have the AEW episode that was done in lockdown where the headline is MJF and Chris Jericho singing a song together?
that genuinely made like American entertainment headlines, and I don't know why, because it was awful. But if we receive that request, then because we're suckers and we ask for it, we'll do it. We will do it.
I would like an in-depth breakdown of the women's battle royale where Santina won.
I mean, that's already planned. Come on, Chris. I mean,
I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to put it out there. WrestleMania 23, Battle of the Billionaires. Do it.
Okay.
WrestleMania
We love
23,
covering
Battle of
Vince McMahon.
Billionaires, complete with live head-shaving commentary, please.
Okay. I'll shave Ross's head, and I won't tell him.
Wasn't that when we were doing Facebook wrestling stuff? Does that line up with that, or was that before? I can't remember. Yeah, it's around about
It's
that
not far
period
off,
of
I
time.
don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly
Anyway.
20 years ago now.
Go check out Ring the Bell podcast, available on podcast things.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
take us home,
I
Dan.
think that's pretty much a show, as far as I can work out. That is a show. I'm probably not going to be here for a week or two, because I'm hoping to move house. So no parties while I'm gone, please, Carman. Keep Tim in check. Don't
You're
forget
gonna miss
midnight.
the big headline game for next week.
Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Correct, Mundo.
Yeah, it's.
Steam Deck
I
verified.
hear it's a thing. I hear it's some Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is how I've heard it described.
I've just a pre-warning for next week. I listened to one review where this guy was very complimentary and said, "Hey, if you're meant to play this on a higher level, if you've got a problem with the AI, because it's made for higher levels. So if you hear any reviews where someone is complaining about the state of the AI enemies, then know that they're playing at a much lower level." And then the first like professional interview I listened to after that, they complain about how dumb the AI is. That just really tickled me for some reason. I'm not going to judge people on what level they play video games on, but I know
Unless
a lot of
they're
people like the Doom review, the Cuphead review, like the things that people have complained about, journos, or Tim playing Ace Combat,
On Novice.
I know it's a thing online where people complain about journalists not being experts at every video game, but that did make me chuckle. So, Assassin's Creed Shadows next week.
Amazing. So, trundle along for that. I would love to, but I've got a feeling I'm probably going to have internet. So, unless you just want a very dishevelled me just screaming into a pillow because I've had enough with moving my life from one bit of England to another.
We could get 2 cups and a long piece of string.
We could.
I'll just hold it to the microphone like that. See how that works.
Good. Let's do that.
Hold the string tight,
Let's do that, shall we? Let's do that. Right, we are going to go. Thank you for coming along and for listening to us or for downloading us. Whatever your poison you pick was. Tim will be back with Coleman next week, and doubtless other people to keep them out of trouble, like Rick or some other folks. I'd imagine. Probably, I don't know.
Someone.
Whoever they can find at last.
We might do a 2-man.
Could do a 2-man. You could do a 2-man. So yeah, well, have fun with that. I shall be back soon. But all that really is left for me to do is to remind you that I've been Dan.
I have been Cole Heyman. And this has been my client, the original wrestling podcast chief, Andrew.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yes. Andrew has been Andrew. So with that, ladies and gents, thanks so much for coming along. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
You and your ears are quite welcome.
For the podcasting goodness that you just heard.
Why not roll on over
To BigRedBarrel.com.
for more podcasts?
News, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet. BigRedBarrel.com.
There is quite a few points in this game footage you're showing where I'm like, what the hell just happened there? Or what the hell is going on right now? What?
Tentacle tongue.
What? Tentacle tongue, weird dolls, disappearing women. Like, why is, like,